в лейте, если будут шмотки, но до них нужно дожить.
Баунти руны, как обычно, 2-2. На ванпост тут еще перехватили Дайра на топе, но это, в принципе, на боте не так уж критично. Шторм Спирит у нас неплохо пока что стопит крипов. В принципе, надо посмотреть на Сайленсера здесь. Шторм, Сайленсер. Смотри, они очень ровно, так сказать, крипов блочили, но в итоге у нас тут больше Шторм Спирит все-таки выигрывает этот стоп крипов. Посмотрим, как Сайленсер у нас здесь сейчас начнет гонять Шторм Спирита. С самого начала он должен это делать. Что начинает настакивать, опять же, себе интеллект за счет глейвов. Правда, не так долго они действуют на первом уровне, но дальше будет хуже. Так,
ну все, Алакрити уже хороший старт, он своего рейнджа заденайл, чужого добил.
Ну вот, видишь?
Это уже залог успеха в миде.
Ну вот. Ты говоришь, там маленький нетворк будет. Ладно, это дело времени. Там все еще может произойти, потому что Сайленсер апнет левел, и Шторм Спириту станет очень тяжело находиться на линии. Ну, если, конечно, Алакрити не покажет там какое-то супер крутое исполнение. Вообще, если мы смотрели, там, по-моему, у Алакрити какой-то тоже высокий ММР.
Ну и у Алакрити, и у Микото, там они в топ-10 оба, по-моему.
В топ-10?
Да. Микото точно топ-10, а Алакрити топ-15, по-моему, тоже 100% есть.
Так, таблица лидеров, ну-ка. Микото топ-7 рейтинга своего региона, а вот Алакрити топ-13. Не самое счастливое число, кстати, но все же. Вообще, я так смотрю, еще игроки команды Cloud9, которые тоже играют сейчас, все находятся где-то в топ-30 хотя бы рейта. Но при этом команда не смогла пройти открытой квалификации.
ММР — это не все, что нужно.
Да вообще нет, знаешь, просто очень круто. То есть
Five seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Team Liquid's turn to ban. Dire team ban. Team Liquid's turn to ban. Dire team ban. Team Liquid's turn to ban.
Welcome back, folks. Team Liquid versus Nigma, game number 2, and in some ways you kind of wish that the game was almost as swift as that intro from the Starladder little splash screen. Definitely for my throat, but definitely not for the hype, because this game was very back and forth. This is what we like to see, actually. Let's be honest, right? If we're gonna have a long game, we don't just want to see one team huddled up in their base. They pick Tinker, and they'll pick Sniper, and they'll pick Techies, and they'll just sit there for too many hours. We've all had those games, right? We want a back and forth game, right? This is like watching a fine ass game of tennis between two of the world's best, just smashing it back and forth. Now I know you guys will be like, oh wow, yeah, are these two the world's best? Well, they done, you know, they do reasonably well, even still. And obviously the minor qualifiers were very stacked, hence why we find ourselves with a very minor qualifier stacked from the major one after from before. And yet we are still seeing a matched caliber of skill from both sides, because game one, it could have went either way. And Team Liquid, they are 1 game up, but I don't feel like we're necessarily going to see a draft dominance from either side. I feel like we're going to get 2 drafts that have their own merits, their own abilities to win the game.
5 seconds remaining.
No cheese picks, right? We don't want to see any of these brutes, these meepos, final pick. We just want to see some Dota. And we're going to open up with a classic, all right? One of my favorites of all times to see. The Shaker's going to come out again. But this time, it's going to be in the hands of Nigma. Now, will there be the response comparative? No, because that ain't how insane you draft this. Oh no, he's going to open up with the Grimstroke and the Void Spirit. That's right. It is Void Spirit and his long-lost cousin. They usually sit there braiding each other's hair late at night. And Grimstroke, interested to see the way they open this up, because we kind of become accustomed to this idea of the big combo, right? Whenever you see the Void, the Grimstroke, rather, you're like, ah, man, yeah, where's the Doom, right? Or, oh, where's the Lich Shamefrost? There is still obviously room for something along the lines of the Lich, but I think the best way that I ever see Grimstrokes drafted is where the Zombbind is utilized primarily as a counter pick to certain heroes, such as Pangolier, or where it's just a complementary factor of the draft that happens afterwards. It feels really rough when you draft around a support pick, and I think the thing that we saw teams, especially when this hero was first introduced to, was they would draft around the support pick and it would seem very strong, and then you'd still be sitting there and going, why did we lose? It's because the reality is, like, winning Dota, big chunk of it comes down to ease of execution. It's the reason that while, like, people have been theory crafting things like the Darkseer vacuum with Song interaction now, and Static Storm is great, right? Because they made it so you can vacuum now in the Song, all of a sudden that combo actually is feasible and quite powerful because it's accessible. So I think if they're going to go for this Grimstroke pick, I'd like within the second phase, I'd like to see someone that just kind of like fits in. It doesn't go over the top. I like Grimstroke Void Spirit already because you have the means to get on top of someone and do a lot of damage with the Inkswell combo. I do like the fact that Nigma, they're keeping the cards kind of close to their chest with the puck. You can't be certain of where this hero is going to go. That is the beauty of it right now. It's still one of the most flexible heroes, and it gives you tempo. And last game, if you remember, that was actually banned out, I believe it was by Liquid, after they picked the Void Spirit, as it is one of the better ways to deal with him early on anyway, especially on the laner phase. Mainly because most of your damage coming out is magical, and you keep range. Obviously, you're a ranged hero against this with high physical, so you can get through his pulse to a degree. And you just farm quicker. That's the difference, right? Like, if you're going to run Void Spirit in the mid, he farms okay, but the reality is hero is he'll get a fall behind the likes of Shadow Fiend, Park. He does that trade so that he can be more active across the map.
Team Liquid's turn to ban.
On the bans right now, so Timber is going to be removed by Nigma. Probably the fact that they're going to go for more strength-based heroes. Plus, Boxy did cause a lot of havoc for them. Invalidated a fair amount of their draft for a lot of that game. Miracle especially did not have a good time with that Razor when he was laning up against the Timber.
5 seconds remaining.
Also, it just is a good hero to pick up against if you worry about the Shaker factor, right? Because you can always escape. So it's just an obvious hero, especially when you consider you just got beaten by it. It's one of those type of heroes that's fresh in your mind. And if you're looking at Shaker, you're thinking, how do we like maximize the kill potential of this hero, as they've already got one hero that we can't really gank with the Shaker, which is going to be that Void Spirit. Liquid are taking a little bit of time on this. When you see this much investment, it's because they're going to have their next two just kind of lined up without any real thought to what Nigma's pick is. Basically a hard commitment to what you want to do. Right now, they could do with some stuns. They don't really have reliable stuns. You could see something along the lines of, I wouldn't go for a beast. I would like some, like I said, I would like something that's complementary with the Grimstroke, but isn't forced by it. Centaur is always like a safe option, but not with the puck in the pool now. Just because the Dream Call counters you whenever you're trying to escape. I think you want a frontliner. You want something strong and bulky. As right now, your Void Spirit like struggles. If he's going to get hit with the Dream Call, he can't escape.
Mereska has arrived.
right, so we'll actually lock in the other support instead at the moment. It's a nice little counter buffer, right? Like if you're up against this Shaker Puck, you're looking at Nigma, they're kind of stacking up hard. Now the Willow can reset with the Terrorize to force you away from the fight unwillingly. It also stops any cute combo potential that Nigma could be looking at, right? Where you could go for maybe this kind of
10 seconds
Willow
remaining.
plus Puck, just force the core snap. Because right now Nigma don't actually have a
5
way of forcing core snap.
remaining.
This could also be Team Liquid's setting up for a bully type lane. Usually the go-to would be something like Starladder, but they were actually the ones who banned that out themselves. I also kind of like that people have moved away from this idea of Grimstroke in the 4 as much. I think it just fits naturally as a 5, and now he has an even bigger advantage against other 5s. Because I'd say he was affected less by the GPM talent loss, as he has a means to shove out lanes and farm low. And okay, so Nigma, instead of focusing on ways that they can snap a call and force people away from a fight,